end of junior year, and I was running for student body vice president of Birmingham High School, a large public school in Los Angeles' San Fernando Valley. We had 562 kids in our class. Many were bused in from South Central. I drove in from Encino, a couple of miles away. For the elections, I shared a ticket with Walter Martin, known as Ricky. He was a popular football player who wanted to be student body president. We called ourselves the Dream Team. It was 1987, so naturally, I wrote my campaign speech as a rap. I performed it, backed up by dancers in oversized sweatshirts and a classmate scratching records on a turntable. I still know every word. It began, "My name is Susie Orman, and I'm nice and naughty. I'm running for vice president of the student body." And ended, "So if you vote for me, you'll have my gratitude, and if you don't, then there's a problem with your attitude." It was a moment, and we won. I would become student body vice president of Birmingham my senior year. One of the many roles of the student body vice president was to present the Welcome to Birmingham speech at the fall orientation for incoming students. I looked forward to this responsibility and took it seriously. But Miss Landau, oh, Miss Landau. Miss Landau, a guidance counselor, was in charge of the incoming students' orientation. She called me into her office one day and told me she thought my voice was too high, that when I got excited, my voice got screechy and was difficult to understand. She didn't think it would depict our school in its best light. She would be asking the student body secretary to give the speech instead. I was speechless. The student body secretary was Jenny Donaldson, whose talents, besides being able to take comprehensive notes in legible handwriting, included apparently a lovely speaking voice. I'm not sure if Miss Landau knew it at the time, but I lost my voice that day. It would take years after that disheartening meeting before I would no longer be embarrassed to introduce myself. Years before I felt comfortable speaking in front of crowds. Years before I didn't think that the first thing that came to someone's mind upon hearing my voice was how ridiculous it must sound. Since then, I've been told on way too many occasions that I sound just like Bart Simpson, and that is so not confidence building. I don't remember the day of that orientation. I don't remember if I even heard how Jenny Donaldson did, if her voice was up to snuff, if Birmingham was depicted in its best light, if the parents and students in that auditorium were grateful that Jenny's voice didn't screech, that it had a pleasing tone. I should have gotten over it by now, but there are days that I'm still convinced that when I open my mouth, people snicker at what comes out. I still don't believe my friends when they tell me my voice is normal. I still cringe when I hear others with high-pitched or unusual voices because I wonder if my reaction to them is the same as other people's reaction to me. Sometimes I deepen my voice purposefully like I'm doing right now. Do I sound bitter? I'm not bitter. But 30 years after Miss Landau silenced my speech, I now know what I should have done at that orientation. If I had the confidence back then that I do now, I would have marched into that auditorium, asked the dulcet Jenny Donaldson to please take her seat, cleared my squeaky throat, and my voice may be squeaky, may sound like noise, but listen up, you girls and boys. Miss Landau came at me filled with hate, but dear Miss Landau, just you wait. I earned this speech. I campaigned and fought, and I am not throwing away my shot.